Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to make some Christmas ornaments. This is something I've been doing for quite a few years. I've been using some plexiglass or some clear acrylic to do this. And I've got some scrap material that I've been through the year I've kind of collected, so it's a pretty cheap little project, and I'll kind of show you what I do to lay it out. First off, I've got a piece of clip art that I'm going to be using here. This is just a design. It happens to be a palm tree, and I've got that either from a piece of clip art that you can purchase. This particular one here may have been actually traced from a JPEG or something that I found online that I like the shape of. So anyway, depending on how you get it, just bring it in, size it the way you want. This particular one here is, I believe, is about 5 inches is my height on that. So anyway, just kind of scale it to whatever you deem is an appropriate size for a Christmas ornament. So I'm gonna leave that, and I've already kind of done some of this stuff, so I'm gonna just kind of quickly go through this. I've got the layout already done here. Now I've chosen the text that I wanted on here, and then I've also got happens to be a 3/16 hole that I'm using for to run a piece of ribbon through or whatever. But the only real trick to this is I've found that the text, whatever text you want to do, especially if it's in acrylic, you can V-carve it, and that will leave the front of the ornament nice and smooth. And the V-carve effect looks pretty nice in the acrylic. So the only trick to that is once you've got it laid out the way you'd like, and you've got your text set and all that kind of stuff, the whole trick to this is just take and mirror it. So you'll go over here, go to the mirroring feature, and then just mirror it left to right, whatever. But this is what you're actually this will be the what you'll be deciding which you'll be V-carving from, and then everything else will be just a end mill of some sort, so you can cut out the circle and then the outside for the border. So, but that's the real trick. I'm gonna go ahead and lay this out, and then I'll show you the rest of it. Okay, I've got my palm trees arranged the way I want, and for the size of material that I'm gonna have here. It seems like my stock material that I'm trying to recycle here is about 8 inches. So I've got it kind of laid out with what I'll be able to do here. So what I tend to do is I'll actually select the text, and I'll group those, and then we'll go through and select the outer vectors. Now I've already grouped these, so I got my hole for the ribbon and the outer vector already selected. But I'll go through and I'll select the vector for for the text, and group that, and then I'll go through and select the order in which I want the outside and the hole machined. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll go ahead and toolpath those. Okay, so what I've got now is I've got my text grouped together. I started from left to right and just selected each one, and then I right click and to go down to group objects, and that's how I selected those. Alright, so then I've gone into the V-carve engraving toolpath strategy, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually let the V-bit that I select assign the depth of cut for these things. So I've got a engraver, basically it's a 20 degree, it's got a 5 thou tip on it, and I'm going to let it go to work and do all that kind of stuff. so that way I don't have to worry about a depth of cut or something like that to be assigned to it. So I'm going to hit calculate, and you can do this with any V-bit that you really have in your library, but you know, just give them a try and see what you like. These tend to work pretty well. All right, so that's what's going to look like, I guess, if it was going in wood, but it's going to be pretty tiny. And the way I'm going to do, I need to do a lot of these, so I'm probably going to use the fence system on my desktop and just run as many of these as possible by doing the just using the V-bit, and then I may end up popping them off and just kind of stockpiling the these pieces of material off to the side, and then when I get to done as many as I'd like with the V-bit, I'll actually put them back on, do a bit change, go to the 1/8 inch end mill, and do them all with the cut them all out with 1/8 inch on one go, instead of having to do bit changes and all that kind of stuff. So that's the way I like to work, but you guys can do it however you want to do. I'm just kind of showing you a way of doing these. So then we'll see if I can shift select these while holding the camera here. Got shift down, shift. All right, and then I'm going to right click and group. All right. And now I've already got a toolpath for this one. This was palms out, and I'm using the 1/8 inch end mill. All right, and it says I'm doing it in 3 passes: outside, right, and then let's see, and hit calculate. Oops, gotta select them first. That was a vector selection error because I didn't have anything selected, and hit calculate. So this is going to cut through. That's okay. I do want to go all the way through and go from there. So there's my preview of what it should look like with the hole for my ribbon and the outer cut. So what we'll do next is we'll take it over to the machine and I'll show you what they do. Right. Okay, so what we're about to do now is we're going to cut those Christmas ornaments out. And so far what I've done is I've taken my substrate, some leftover acrylic that I had, and I've used some spray adhesive to put to the back of the film that's already on the acrylic, and I've stuck that down. I've got these 2 pieces here that I'm looking to make the ornaments out of. And the way I've got it laid out, I'll get 6 ornaments per piece. And I've already put this turns out to be a 60-degree engraving bit with about a 20 thousandths tip on it. So I'm going to use that, and then we'll cut the text out first. And before I start this, what I want to do is actually pull the film off the top layer, because what will end up happening is as you engrave this, you'll end up having to go back later and pull off or dig out the little insides of E's and A's and B's and that kind of thing. So I find it's a little easier. It certainly saves you a lot of tedious work to pull that top sheet off. So I'm gonna get these things started, and then we'll see how things turn out. Okay, we're back, and this particular file took about 18 minutes to run all the decarve. So what I'm gonna do is just sweep that off, and maybe you can see it. It's just Merry Christmas, very faintly scribed into the back of the ornament. So now I'm gonna set it up. I'm gonna put an 1/8 inch end mill. I'm gonna put this one in, and then I'll set it back up, zero back to the top the way I set up my original file, and then let it go ahead and cut these out. Okay, we'll see what that does. Okay, our Christmas ornaments have just finished. I have just let this particular file run about, I guess, another 18 minutes or so on the settings that I have it set for. But this was our cutout pass, or profile pass, I guess you'd say. So there we go. I don't want to do too much there, but I've taken the first one out and go ahead and taken the protective film off the back, so now you can see the end result there. I think it turned out pretty good. And anyway, y'all give this a try, and Merry Christmas, y'all.